Hey Browns fans, Nathan Zegura welcoming you into another edition of Browns Live. It's Meet the Rookies presented by Vivid Seats. The Browns 2022 draft class is in the building. Rookie minicamp just happened last weekend, and so tonight on the program we're going to give you an opportunity to really get to know 5 members of our rookie class. We've got all 3 third-round picks. MJ Emerson, the corner out of Mississippi State. We have defensive end Wright out of the University of Alabama, Birmingham, and wide receiver David Bell from Purdue. Plus our pair of 4th-round picks, Perrion, Winfrey. That's right, the energy is coming to Browns Live. Meet the Rookies here tonight, as well as kicker Cade York. So those 5 members are going to be very well represented over the next hour, and you have an opportunity to ask them questions directly yourself. Get those questions in using the hashtag BrownsLive. And not only that, we're going to pick one special submission at the end of the night to win an autographed football from our rookie class. So you definitely want to be involved. Browns Live, it's always about you, the best fans in the NFL. And I can tell you this, you've already made quite the impression on our rookie class. And so they're excited to be here. They're excited to get your questions, and we're going to run through it. But first, just kind of reset the stage here. Browns rookie minicamp happened last weekend. They were able to get 3 days of work on the field with the coaches. That work is continuing this week for them. The veterans are off. They will be back, and everybody gets together the following week as we get ready for the OTAs and then the mandatory minicamp in the middle of June. The Browns this year selected 9 players in the 2022 NFL Draft. As I mentioned, the 3 third-rounders. They had pick 68, MJ Emerson Jr., pick 78, Wright, pick 99, David Bell. In the 4th round, pick 108, Perrion Winfrey, the defensive tackle out of Oklahoma, and pick 124, Cade York, the kicker from LSU. In the 5th round, the Browns selected Jerome Ford, the running back from Cincinnati, with pick number 156. They would then go on to add in the 6th round Michael Woods II, a wide receiver from Oklahoma, and rounded it out with 2 picks in the 7th round, Isaiah Thomas, defensive end from Oklahoma, 3 Sooners in the draft class for the Browns, and then center Dawson Deaton with pick number 246. And so it's a rookie class that is big, a lot of talent. The Browns addressing some big needs at cornerback, at defensive end, at defensive tackle, at kicker, and of course at wide receiver. And so there are a lot of high hopes for this class. But remember, this is a different roster than years past for the Cleveland Browns. This is a rookie group that's going to have to really earn playing time. This is a very loaded, veteran-laden roster that has an opportunity to do great things. And these rookies are going to come in and try to contribute to that, to try to make an impact in their rookie seasons. And we're going to learn about how they approach the game of football, what inspired them, who were some of the players that they emulate, and then also learn a little bit about their personalities. We know some of them have huge personalities. Others, maybe not as big. Our goal tonight here is to have fun and hope that you, the Browns fans, get a better understanding of your rookie class. Now, I know you're excited to meet the rookies, but you're going to be excited to hear what I have to say next. One lucky winner, Browns fans, has the chance to win the ultimate fan getaway trip for 2 to Miami to watch the Browns take on the Dolphins Sunday, November the 13th, 2022. Fans can enter this contest by going to clevelandbrowns.com/vivid seats. Now, when we come back, we're going to be joined by the Browns' first pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, cornerback MJ Emerson. He also has that game against Miami circled. You'll hear why. Coming up next on Browns Live, Meet the Rookies, presented by Vivid Seats. Welcome into Browns Live, Meet the Rookies, presented by Vivid Seats. Nathan Zegura joined now by the first pick in the 2022 NFL Draft for the Cleveland Browns, cornerback MJ Emerson. MJ, Pleasure to meet you, man. Welcome to the Browns.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
All right, let's go back. A couple weeks ago, The Miz, WWE superstar, goes out there ranting and raving as only he can. And then he announces your name. Now, you knew it was coming. You got the call before that. What was that moment like for you?
It was a great moment. In my mind, I was just like, man, I'm ready to get to work, honestly. Just ready. I'm happy to play football again, and just get to meet everybody and just get to work.
By the way, The Miz told me he's got that card for you. He wants to give it to you next time he sees you.
Oh, yeah, I'd love to have it.
Yeah, and you will have it. So you said you wanted to get to work. The good news is the draft's a couple of weeks ago. Rookie minicamp has happened. You've gotten to come in here and get to work. What's that been like for you?
It's been fun, just learning little techniques, that can help me elevate my game, to another level. Learning the system, being around, professional guys, and just, learning how to be a pro.
When you look at your college tape, and one of the things that stands out, and you were asked this a lot after the draft, why didn't they throw the ball at you? And they were saying it kind of like, I thought sometimes like it was a bad thing. That's a good thing. That means your guy's not open. They're going elsewhere. That's respect, right?
Yes, sir.
What's it like playing at a time when 13% of the team's passes going against your defense and go in your direction? 87% of the time, they're not. How do you kind of keep that mentality to stay sharp, stay fresh, to make sure that they keep that ball going the other way?
Man, it was hard, but we got a saying, what we had to say in the Mississippi State was just play the next play. So, no matter what happened to play before, just play the next play. So I'll just line up and be like, man, this might be the play that come at me, so I got to be ready. So that's how I looked at it, really.
Do you like the fact that now coming into this league, like, you're going to get tested, and when you believe in yourself, you're like, bring it on, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm excited about that, because I'm like, okay, this is the NFL. Of course they're going to test me, so I'm excited about that.
When you kind of got here and you got to meet your coaches, and you got to meet Jeff Howard and Brandon Lynch. We'll start with Coach Howard, one of my favorite guys here. What's kind of your impression been of him? And I think he's got like a little bit of a gangster vibe to him, a tough guy. I like Coach Howard. What do you think about him so far?
Man, I like Coach Howard. I feel like he's real down to earth. He kind of, just smooth guy.
Yeah.
Smooth guy, yeah.
You'll see he's got some good swag when he starts dressing up. He can dress on the sidelines. He'll bring some game day stuff. And then on the other side, you have the nicest human being on the planet, Brandon Lynch.
I agree.
Right? I mean, literally never had a bad day. I've never seen him not smiling. So you kind of have those two together. How does that work for you?
I hope it worked good, got the best of both worlds. I mean, just having two coaches, two better than one. So I like both of their personalities, they're different, but,
yeah.
we working together for the same goal.
You mentioned the techniques, and I know Brandon Lynch is a master of the techniques, and you guys are going through those drills over and over and over again. Would people be surprised at how different DB coaches and different systems are about just the littlest, teeniest fundamentals, where your hips are, the angle of your hip with your feet, things like that, coming here now to the Browns from Mississippi State?
I mean, everybody coach different, so yeah, it's different everywhere, but yeah, it's a big difference. Yeah.
Is it a lot different than what you were doing before?
Yeah, it's a big difference for the most part. I mean, yeah, it is a big difference. Just little things, that can help you, be in a better position though, but it'll help,
Do you like playing man? Do you like playing zone, or do you like playing whatever it's called?
Situations, really. It's depending on down and distance, all that. But
yeah.
I like playing man, and just, going one-on-one and trying to eliminate a receiver,
You're going to have an opportunity, obviously, in our division. There are a lot of very, very good receivers. In this league, there are a lot of good receivers. Is there somebody that you've been wanting to go against, and maybe you went in college, you want to go against them again? Or is there anybody that you kind of are excited about that's maybe on our schedule to go against?
I mean, Tyreek Hill. Yeah, I thought about playing Tyreek Hill, the Miami Dolphins.
That's right. November the 13th, you'll get an opportunity, Tyreek Hill. A lot of speed. You've got a lot of speed, a lot of length as well. As one of the things the Browns I know liked about you. How does that benefit you as a cornerback, to be as tall as you are, as long as you are, and have that speed?
Being able to run, but, cornerback is really about technique. So you don't have any technique. You can be a 4-2 guy, but, you know how to put yourself in position then. You're going to get ran by. So, but just, being able to, slow guys down, at the beginning, at the release. So
yeah,
that helped me a lot. And then also my length, like the window is kind of shorter. It's kind of some plays I can make with my longer arms.
Yeah, get it in there and get those PBUs, which I know you did at Mississippi State. When you think about, how you played corner at Mississippi State versus now what you're being taught here. One of the things when I was going, and talking to Coach Howard, talking to Coach Lynch, and just trying to understand DB play more so I could do my job better, right? I don't know if people realize how much goes into it, not just physically, right? You've got to be able to run and chase after some of the best athletes in the world, but based on if there's a pre-snap motion, if number one now becomes number two, how the responsibility changes, if they bunch up, if they stack. All of those little checks and adjustments. Is it kind of wild when people watching at home maybe have no idea how many different things have to go through pre-snap for you, and then as the motions start changing the coverages on the fly so that you guys can do your job and maintain the soundness of what you're trying to do defensively?
Yeah, man. You know, it's a lot. It's a lot behind the game of football. You know, that some outsiders might not get, but man, yeah, it's a lot. So just learning the technique, you know, playbook, but you know, when you learn everything, it's kind of like second nature. So that's why you got to get in that playbook, you know, and just react so you can play fast. Like when you know everything, you know, you just react and play fast.
Are a lot of these concepts similar to when I was talking with Greg Newsom, for example, we drafted out of Northwestern? They did a lot of similar things there. Are a lot of these things familiar, maybe called different things here, but similar to what you did at Mississippi State to kind of help accelerate that process?
Yeah, a lot of things are similar. You know, football is football. So,
sure.
But it might be just, it's similar, but it might have a little difference. Like I might have to have my eyes on this guy instead of this guy. So just, you know, just learning my progressions and getting used to it. That's probably like, you know, the biggest thing I need to work on.
So have you got a chance to talk with, you know, Denzel and Greedy and Greg and some of the guys in your room?
Yes, sir. I actually talked to Denzel. You know, me and him have the same agent, so he connected us. And I was just telling him, you know, I'm going to come in and work. You know, I just want to learn everything I can from him. I was telling him lead the way. Yeah. But he was telling me, nah, we both going to lead the way. So I respect that, you know.
That's awesome.
Yes, sir.
Did they get, if there was like one thing that they said, like one piece of advice that they gave you?
I mean, not really. You know, just come in ready to work, you know, and soak everything in and be a great listener.
When did you know you were going to be a DB?
My sophomore year of high school.
Okay.
My head coach, he made me play DB, so yeah. I didn't want to play DB, but he made me actually, so, but I'm happy he made me.
So once you get drafted, have you guys stayed in touch? Did you say, yeah, maybe you're right about that?
Well, that was actually his last year, but like Coach Pollard, yeah, that's his name, Coach Pollard, it was his last year, so after that year, he was gone, so he be around like my high school or whatnot, but I don't have his phone number, so we don't talk as much.
Gotcha. Well, good job, Coach. If you're watching out there, good job.
Thank you, Coach Pollard. I need to text you. Appreciate that.
Absolutely. All right, we've got a couple of fan questions for you right now. This one comes from Sherry Ellen, and I think I'm going to ask a lot of the guys this because I like it. If you had the opportunity to sit down and talk with any NFL player, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Maybe Deion Sanders, I would say. Yeah, prime time. You know, he played my position, you know, at a high level for a long time. So I'll probably just ask him, you know, what it takes, you know, to be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, and that's certainly a good guy to start with. He was a guy, they didn't throw out at more than 13% at him either. So you guys can talk about that as well. I want to ask you about, you put on the number 23.
Yes, sir.
Joe Hayden was first-round draft pick of this organization, played a long time here. I love that guy. Great guy, great player, has been in the league for a long, long time, most recently with the Steelers. For him to kind of quote tweet that and say that looked good on you, what did that mean to you to have a guy who was, you know, probably the most synonymous with 23 in this organization kind of give you that blessing at the same position?
Man, it's a blessing, you know. It's a blessing. I appreciate him for doing that.
Did you know Joe at all?
No, I actually don't, but I watched him. You know, I watched him when he was in college. You know, I knew who he was, but I didn't know him personally. But yeah, so
that's pretty
I was
cool.
excited about that. You know, I was like somebody I watched. You know, I watched and kind of like, you know, looked at as a role model. Well, I do look at as a role model, and just him, you know, just give me those blessings. It was a great moment. All
right, now I mentioned Joe Hayden, probably most synonymous with 23. There was another guy who wore 23 here recently. Huge fan of Demarius Randall, and I know you guys are buddies. First of all, how did that come to be?
Well, we actually played at the same Little League organization growing up. So
okay.
I mean, he's older than me, but yeah, I always watched him play. You know, he was one of the best players on his team, and I was one of the best players on my team. So he just always been around him, you know, and just watching him play. He's a great player.
On the field, are you a big trash talker?
It just depends really on my opponent. You know, I like to line up and get the job done with my opponent. You know, if he's talking trash, then
you'll talk.
Then I will, yeah.
Because you seem like a quieter guy. Demarius, not quiet. Was he trash talking like since he ever stepped on a field?
I mean, he got that swag about him, so
yeah, I bet
he just play with the swag. So you know, everybody play different though.
Did he tell you anything about playing in Cleveland?
He told me about the organization. You know, he was like, I would love it here. You know, the people, the fans. Yeah, that's about it.
What's it been like, kind of the reaction from the fans, knowing that this place is absolutely crazy about football and crazy about the Cleveland Browns?
Man, it's just kind of give me flashbacks about Starkville, like Mississippi. Like that's exactly how Mississippi State fans was, like crazy, you know, diehard fans. So you know, I'm happy to be here.
MJ, this has been a pleasure. Certainly looking forward to getting you out on the field, having a great season, and certainly want to welcome you to the Browns again because this is gonna be a lot of fun. Congratulations on your dreams coming true, and Excited to see what you can do, put on that helmet, wearing that 23, making Demarius Randall and Joe Hayden proud.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. We'll be back with more Browns Live Meet the Rookies presented by Vivid Seats. Alex Wright joins us next on the show. Welcome back into Browns Live Meet the Rookies presented by Vivid Seats. Nathan Zegura joined now by Browns defensive end Alex Wright out of the University Alabama Birmingham. And Alex, we've got to talk a few times, but great to see you again. And once again, welcome to the Browns.
Thank y'all for having me. Thank y'all.
So what's this been like? We've talked about you getting drafted, getting the call, dreams are coming true. It was surreal, but now here we are almost 3 weeks later. What's kind of those weeks once it's become a reality and now you're here to put in the work to be a Cleveland Brown?
It's just learning how to adjust. That's all, just part of life, just growing up, adjusting, you adjust in college, leaving now you're on to, the NFL in a new environment, new city, new fans. It's just adjusting. So, and once I adjust, it's just get to work, just work. So I'm happy to be here and I'm happy to get to work.
Well, we're certainly happy to have you here. You mentioned the fans. Browns fans, intense, passionate. They love this football team. They love everybody who plays for this football team. What's that? Has it been crazy, overwhelming? What's it been like with the fans?
It's been a lot of positivity. There's
Sure.
been there has been, fans, that will, hit me in the DMs and be like, yeah, I just seen you. It just blows my mind a little bit because it's like I'm a Cleveland Brown and people actually know who I am. So it's a lot of positivity and it's a lot of love to be received from fans, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So.
All right, let's start with your journey to get here, though. So you started playing football and you're like, nah, not really for me. I'm going to be a musician, woodwind instruments. When did you decide, though, yeah, I do want to get back into football?
I remember when they won the state championship, and I wish I was on the team, but I couldn't be a part of the team. So it's like I wanted to win a ring, too. So, just to go along with that, and then, the vibes of, actually being out there on the field instead of, having to play music onto the field.
Sure.
I just wanted to hear it from everything else, every audio environment just surrounding just the stadium. So, just being able to say, yeah, I put in the work, to be a football player at Elba. So people started to recognize me playing football. So it was like, I could get used to this. And then that's when I started to fall in love with the game, like all over again.
So what year in high school was that when you made the decision, yeah, I'm going to go play football?
My sophomore year.
Sophomore year, so junior year was your first season.
No, it was like going into my sophomore.
Going into your sophomore.
Going into my sophomore year.
So in reality, you have not played a ton of football in your life, and yet here you are, what, 6 seasons?
Six
seasons.
Six
and so
seasons.
Do you feel like you're just kind of scratching the surface of what you're capable of?
I feel like that's the best way you can put it, because to me, I don't really take, I don't really think of criticism as criticism. I think it's as fuel.
Yeah.
So that's what I think of, when I say scratching the surface. I have a lot of ceiling. There's no ceiling to getting better. So I would use that as my advantage to get better, and I would love to get better. And that's the reason, that's one of the reasons why I'm here, to get better and attribute to the team.
Now the doctor said you stopped growing because you go to college. How big are you when you go into college?
I was 6'4", 225.
Which is big, by the way. And how big are you now?
I mean, NFL scales are different, so
Well, yes, but we're talking.
I say I'm 6'6", 270.
Okay.
270. That's what I say.
Right. So in 3 years, are you going to be like 6'8", 310?
I hope I don't grow no more. I'm not even gonna lie.
You're good.
I'm good at this height.
Okay.
I'm good at this height, but weight-wise, I can still grow a little bit. I can still maintain. I can still lose. So just whatever fits me best. So.
What's it been like getting here and you come into this facility and you get to be with the strength coaches and there's a whole team, just as there is in college, but a whole team dedicated to getting the most out of your body and getting you in the best possible condition. What's kind of that initial experience been like with our strength team?
It's been a great experience because I would love for those to I would love for them to actually help me out.
Yeah.
So, and I've been asking questions. I ask, how can I do this? How can I do that? And it's the fact that they can come up with answers just like that, and it's like, wow, like, so it's been a fun experience just, asking them what they think, thinking about what I can do myself, not only, just asking them, but, for them to, be in this field, they're in this field for a reason. So they know exactly what they're talking about. So I would take everything I can, just to help myself get better. And I know they're helping me, but it's on me also to help myself, so.
Yeah, it's now this is your job. And one of the questions we have from our fans is, what is the biggest difference from you being a pro versus a college player? That's from Jason K.
College. College. I say classes.
Yeah.
Classes. Because I was so used to, how it was set up. We would have practice, go to class in the morning, lunch, practice, then we're right back to, studying.
Sure.
There wasn't there wasn't as much football except with the exception of film. I mean, film study, but you had classes, you had tests, you had work, you had study hall. There was just so much difference. Now it's like when I get home from practice, it's like I have so much free time. So that's one thing that taught me, just handling my time management a little bit more, because I had so much to do in college. Now I don't have as much to do with the exception of football, but, watch film, and do extra work. So I just say just the time management, just the biggest difference.
Yeah. And now your class, right, is learning the playbook and studying the film and all of that. So I know that that's what you're doing with the majority of your free time, but what do you like to do for fun in your free time when you are not in the playbook and studying film?
I like video games.
What's your favorite game?
2K.
2K?
2K, NBA 2K.
Okay.
Right now it's kind of a race because Warzone, Call of Duty. I'm more of a Call of Duty type of player. So like, I play Call of Duty, I play Madden, I play 2K, UFC, WWE. I'm more of I'm sports with
the WWE game.
Yeah,
I'm glad it's back. It's a good game.
Yeah, I was seeing videos and stuff like on TikTok, and it's like, yeah, I might have to end up getting that game again because I was big on WWE when I was small. So like just SmackDown versus Raw, WWE 12, WWE 2K12, stuff like that. And then I took like a little break from it. And then when I started seeing the gameplay, I was like, I got to get this game.
Big wrestling fan. I like that. But now, do you know that there was back in the day a wrestler in WCW named Alex Wright?
Yes, I do.
Did you ever do the dance? That can be your sack dance?
No. That's one thing I seen people would tag me in when I got drafted. And I would look him up because I was interested also. So it was like when I seen him, it was like, yeah, he was in WCW.
Yeah.
He was, he was wrestling. I'm like, Alex Wright. But that was even before. I remember the times before where I were even, just being, in high school, just look myself up, and he would pop up. So I was like, who is this dude? So other than that, it was just like, wow, like, okay, well, there's two people out there. There's two people now out there with Alex Wright.
Just think about it. Just one time, because there are a lot of people who know that Alex Wright. Just one time, one sack, and you just get up and you do some of this. People lose their minds.
Oh, they will, and I'm
just think about it.
I'm already knowing. I already know. I don't know if I might think
it would be hilarious.
When I do sack quarterbacks, it's like I don't really even think about a celebration. Okay. I would tell people I have a celebration, but it would never come out. So it's like when I get a sack, I gotta refresh my brain. As soon as I get up, I gotta hit the dance.
Well, I know you've already talked to Miles, so maybe you're all about the business. Maybe we'll get Miles to do the Alex Wright dance for you if you get there for your first one. I think it'll be a special moment.
It might be. I gotta ask him to see if he do it first. So we gonna see.
I know you've already talked to him.
Yeah.
What's that like, getting knowing you're, hey, I'm coming right in the league and I'm gonna get to play with one of the best in the game?
It was just, that's just a moment for me, to take in because I've been watching Miles since he was in college. So, and that's somebody I try to model my game after. And it's going to be an even better experience for me, not to watch him, online, but watch him in person. And, I can have the access, to ask him questions, ask him, how do you do this? What's your approach to this? What do you do in case this happens and stuff like that? Just, just picking his brain.
Absolutely.
A lot more than usual. So
yeah,
it's just I can't wait for that experience. I already talked to him a little bit, just with simple stuff off the field, like getting in touch with a dietitian, getting tips and whatnot. So that's just the start of it all right there.
We are excited to have you here. This has been a blast. Can't wait to see you out there on the field, and maybe we'll see a little bit of dancing from the Cleveland Browns, Alex Wright. When we come back, Browns kicker Cade York joins us. This is Browns Live, Meet the Rookies, presented by Vivid Seats. Welcome back to Browns Live, Meet the Rookies, presented by Vivid Seats. Nathan Zegura and the newest kicker for your Cleveland Browns, Cade York. And Cade, I'm thrilled to get to talk to you. I talked to you on the phone. I've seen your interviews. Dude, you're cool as a cucumber. Are you always just kind of like a very steady person in everything you do?
I mean, guess that's kind of part of the gig, so kind of
I'm sure it's useful in your line of work, no doubt.
Yep.
The culture of calm. Have you heard anybody say that since you've been here?
No.
So that's, you've met Kevin Stefanski, you've met Andrew Barry, I'm sure. I don't know if you met Paul DePodesta yet, but the three of them,
pretty calm
very
people.
Similar, culture of calm, very calm.
I can see that.
Have you been calm your whole life?
I have my moments.
We all do.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that it's a mindset kind of locking in, I guess. There are times that I will not be a calm person and kind of take up the room, but also when you're a kicker, you can't always do that, so
right.
Kind of have to find the balance.
15 field goals of more than 50 yards in college. I've quoted that stat to a couple people. They said, I didn't even know there was a kicker who ever even attempted 15 50-yard field goals in college. Obviously, the faith was there. The calm was there, right? Your coach believed in you. You demonstrated in practice that you were able to go out there and do it in games. We know the big ones that you've hit the 57-yard against Florida. When did you know, I'm pretty good at this? Because it had to be, I know you're a soccer guy initially, there had to be a moment where you're like, this is good. I'm pretty good at this.
It would have been after the end of my sophomore season, for sure. Leading up to that, it was freshman year. Had an okay season. Good sides, downsides. But coming into the sophomore season, I went through a pretty strong season, had some big kicks, and was able to bounce back after bad ones. And those last two games, I went like 7 for 7 and had that big one against Florida. And kind of surreal in the moment. You don't necessarily notice it, but once you move on from that moment, you realize, okay, that's what people are going to ask me about for the rest of my life when they either bring up kicking or LSU. So after that, I kind of realized, okay, kind of have a shot at this going on to the next level, and it worked out. So
yeah, here you are.
Here I am.
Here you are. What changed, do you think, between that freshman and sophomore year?
Big time mental game. You only grow so much physically after high school. It's like I'm still going to grow physically more and get stronger and stuff like that. Anybody can make a field. I've been able to kick a 60-yard field goal since I was a sophomore in high school. My leg talent necessarily hasn't grown exponentially, but what's changed is consistency, being able to do it over and over again, and then moving into college when you're kicking in front of 100,000+ people, your mental game has to just go to a new level and grow exponentially.
Did you get into a routine? Was there something that you would say to yourself before you went on the field, like that allowed you to make that mental step?
That's something I actually picked up from 2 older guys that were at LSU with me, the holder and the snapper, to start having mental cadences before every kick, so I wouldn't go out there and kind of just blank out.
Sure.
Because you do it so many times, it's not monotonous, but you go out there and you can get kind of lackadaisical sometimes, and then all of a sudden something happens. You're like, what just happened there? Like, I don't know how I missed that. So I go out there, and I've had the same mental cadence in my head since just about after they told me that, and it's been a game changer because you just fill your thoughts with the same thought every time. You don't give you don't give your head space to think about anything outside of what you have planned to say in your head. So it doesn't bring any negative thoughts, any positive thoughts. It's just let your body take over.
All right, you said you're competitive. Are you a person who's like competitive in everything? If you're playing a board game, you want to win that, or are you competitive in what you would consider your area of expertise?
It's gotten better as I've grown up. I know Monopoly used to get rough back when I was a kid, and and games like that. So board games weren't very common when growing up because of stuff like that, me and my sister. But definitely competitive in most things. Very competitive in football, golf, anything in the weight room, stuff like that. I'm competitive everywhere.
All right, golf. You brought it up. So I know that you want to go through your career as a kicker. You want to be the next Justin Tucker. I'm sure as a golfer, you want to be the next Al Del Greco, where you can go win all those celebrity things when your playing career is over as a golfer. So you're a 12 these days? Is that about right?
I haven't been playing as much this spring because of training.
Sure.
Last spring, I was hovering around an 85.
Okay.
So anywhere in that range,
what would you say is
basically.
the strength of your game?
Actually, I flush my irons pretty well, and my short game's pretty good.
Okay.
The problem of when I get either start getting to the mid to low 80s, or if I'm up in the 90s, is if my driver is hitting the fairways.
Okay. Can get a little wayward. Do you apply your same mental cadence to golf, or do you try to do that?
No, but kicking and golf is very similar. Even if you look at the club, it's almost the same as a kicking foot. So I kind of can bring some of it into it, but I'm glad that I'm better at kicking than I am at golf because
yes.
I'm here right now. So.
Exactly. One of the things I thought was cool when you said you talked to Phil Dawson that he said you got to get used to maybe the ball not going directly down the middle of the uprights. Is that kind of part of a mentality for you of aim small, miss small, so you're always looking to get it right down the middle?
Well, that comes from the idea of when the winds get tough here later on in the year, it's you got to play to basically increase your room for error.
Sure.
So if the wind's blowing hard right to left, some people might aim outside the uprights and just hit a ball that plays all in. But if I hit my best ball, it's going to play dead straight. But the part about kicking is you're not always going to hit your best ball. Like in college, maybe hit my best ball 15 to 25% of the time. It's not that often. Or you want it to be as often as you can, but you get the thing I've always tried to do is my B ball, which is not my best ball, but still a good ball, has got to make almost every kick I go out for. Yeah. So to someone that doesn't know too much about kicking, they might not even notice a difference. But for me, especially in practice, when I look at results, I'm not just looking if it goes in or not. I'm looking, okay, do I actually like the ball hit? Is that going to make every kick I go out there for and stuff like that?
I like
that. If I'm aiming just inside the upright, if I hit my best ball, it's going to go in. If I hit my B ball, the right to left wind might take it, but it'll still go inside the left upright. And that's kind of what he's talking about. You have to be okay with not putting it down the middle every time.
Yeah. Well, by the way, for golf, they say it's not how good your good shots are, it's how good your bad shots are, which is what you're saying here.
Mine are pretty bad in golf sometimes. So.
Well, we got to improve that, and then your score's going to improve.
There we go.
Logan Z asks, this is a good one. What's a souvenir you've kept in your football career thus far that means the most to you?
I mean, I don't necessarily have too many souvenirs. My dad sent me a picture of my trophy from high school of making the Whataburger super team. And that was a big deal when that happened. Kind of a big Whataburger fan.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know if there's any around here.
I don't know if we have Whataburgers up here. I don't
know
think so.
It's definitely a Texas thing, so it's kind of sad that it's not up here. But I know LSU's painting up some footballs of some big kicks I had, stuff like that. But
where's the ball from the 57-yarder?
They have it still. They're going to paint it. And,
for you?
Yeah, and make it like a display ball. So that might be it. But I wouldn't say I have too many souvenirs that I cherish like that.
Last one here, and this is one that we kind of talked a little bit about as well, but as you line up from Robert P., as you line up for your kick, what factors are you considering as critical in assessing the success of your attempt? And you said you wanted to be your A ball or your B ball, and how do you block out the noise? And I guess that would be your mental preparation. But what are you factoring in when you go out? Are you really looking at the wind? What are the things you're trying to take into account?
So that's a big pregame thing. And yes,
Okay.
I will go out there, and if anything dramatically changes, like in the flags or
Sure.
whatever, that's something I'm analyzing on a pretty regular basis, even if I'm just on the sideline. But I'd say practice versus game is different on what I consider success. In practice, yes, you want to make the kick, but I'm also trying to hit that A ball as much as possible, which over the time has increased and gotten more consistent. But in the game, you got to be happy with results. Because if you hit a great ball that misses, nobody cares.
No, yeah, I flushed that one.
Nobody cares. It's like hitting a smoke of a drive straight into the woods.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
No, nobody cares. Yeah.
So that, and then when it comes to the noise and dealing with that, I've kind of, again, with the mental cadence, I've accepted this idea that pressure is a privilege.
Yeah.
And not everybody gets to have these type of opportunities, be on the Cleveland Browns and stuff like that. So honestly, when it's pretty loud, it sounds like white noise, and I kind of love it because it's easier than like crickets.
Total silence, yeah.
And I mean, I played at LSU with 105,000 people, so there's not many NFL stadiums that compete with that. And I know the Browns fans are crazy, and I'm excited about that.
Oh, yes.
But I've been through the ringer through college, and I think I'm pretty prepared for at least the noise part of the NFL.
Cade York, we're excited to see you get out there, approach them all the same, and just boot them right down the middle. By the way, folks, the schedule is out. We want you to join us this season at First Energy Stadium. Verified Browns tickets are limited and going fast. Purchase your tickets now at clevelandbrowns.com/tickets. When we come back, Perrion Winfrey live in studio. Browns Meet the Rookies, presented by Vivid Seats. Welcome back into the Browns Live Meet the Rookie special presented by Vivid Seats. And I know this is one you guys have all been waiting for. New Browns defensive tackle, Perrion Winfrey, joining me now. Perrion, we got to talk your draft night. What you did that night, incredible. It's still everybody, and you said there's no love like the love from Cleveland. You caused that, man. You caused that with that energy. It was infectious. When you go back and relive that night, what do you think about it now here a couple weeks removed?
I wouldn't change a thing. I'm blessed just to be here, and I'm glad that this is the team that drafted me, and I'm grateful to have such a crazy fan base. I love everything about this organization.
So going to Oklahoma, you've played in front of a crazy fan base, right? You have dealt some big games. And so when you come here and you feel this fan base now, were you surprised? Like, did you have any idea what it was going to be like coming to Cleveland?
I'll always be a Sooner, but the Browns fans are way more crazier than Oklahoma fans are. It doesn't even come close. Like, it's crazy to think about how crazy they are about the sport of football in this state.
They love it. Yeah. They love it. They live for it here. The Pro Football Hall of Fame is here in Ohio because that's what Ohio is all about. And so now you get to come in here to this team, this city. You've already felt the love for the fans. People are already getting to the airport to get you to sign mini helmets. But a lot of, we heard in the energy. And I'm like excited to sit here with you. I have a lot of energy too.
Most definitely.
You bring it though on a whole nother level. Right now you're nice and subdued here. You hear about the business, about the work. But when you get into those places, when you get that amped, Where does it come from? When is it? Have you always been like that?
I mean, it's just been in me. Like, it's just something that's always been a part of my life. I feel like that's something that I've always tried to bring into my game. I feel like I'm not the same player when I'm out there just going through the motions. Like, I'm always one of those guys that's going to bring juice and energy and going to be on the sideline barking, losing my mind, making sure all my teammates ready to go.
Well, Kevin Stefanski would say, if you're juiceless, you're useless.
Exactly.
You will never be useless.
Ever.
On account of, right,
Ever.
certainly not because of no juice. What'd you say? No pulp, all concentrated?
Exactly. 100% concentrated.
100% concentrated, and you certainly are. When you come in here, and it's one thing, right, to come in and you're loud, you're fired up, and you wanna work, and you're gonna push everybody to work.
Right.
You go from being, the guy in college, right, to coming into the NFL. Now it's like, oh, I'm in a new locker room.
Exactly.
How do I fit in? How's that been, kind of that transition, coming here, meeting the coaches, meeting your teammates?
I feel like I've always been a people person, so people just migrate to me easy. So I've already built a lot of relationships with people on the team, and I just can't wait for the veterans to come in and see how we all mold in together. But I feel like I won't have a worry about me and them. I feel like all of our personalities are going to come in, and we're going to be able to bond right away because we all have the same common goal, and we all dogs. So
that's right. Literally the dog pound.
Really.
Did you feel like that was something that kind of, I know you said it was destiny, 97, you get the call, you can get number 97, you felt like that was destiny. You said your mom was a dog, your dad was a dog, you were born a dog.
Exactly.
You had no choice but to be a dog, and now here you are
Right.
with the dogs of the NFL.
Exactly. It's crazy. Yeah, it's definitely a blessing. I feel like this was the perfect organization for me, if we're being honest, like just for everything that I stand for and just like the principles that I live by and how I move in my day-to-day life, just to be able to be a part of the dog pound is just a blessing.
Well, you said that the principles you live by. What are the principles you live by?
Definitely a strong family man. I show a ton of love to everybody that has ever shown love to me in my life. Kind of like you said, I'm always juiced up, ready to go, and just making sure that anybody around me that's trying to do good things in their life, I'm making sure that I motivate them to be the best person they can be every day.
I like that. That's
Most
good.
definitely.
So when you're fired up, you go through a game, for example. How do you kind of wind yourself down? What do you like to do to wind down? Because you can't be here all the time. You got to be able to come down a little bit.
I'd probably say I'd take a cold shower, to be honest, and I just sit in my room, turn the lights off, and just meditate. Because I turn my phones off, get away from everything, and just focus on myself and just meditate for like probably 15 to 30 minutes, and then after that I'm calm, so ready to go.
All right, so two things then. To start to get fired up, to start the fire up process, what do you like to listen to? And that was one of the songs Pat D said. What's your go-to pregame song to start to get you in the zone?
Right, so I probably start off with a lot of rap music, and then like I say like an hour before the game, I go into like R&B or like old school. Like I listen to Ray Charles or something.
Okay.
Just to get me like mellowed out and calm. And then like right before we go out, then I'll start to listen to rap music again just to get me juiced up and amped and ready to go.
Favorite artist or favorite song?
I'll probably say my favorite artist right now is Lil Baby. But I don't have a favorite song. He got too many good songs.
Too many good ones, the whole catalog.
Yeah, for
All
real.
right, beautiful. And then, so when you go to do your meditation, is there anything that you listen to? Is there a mood you try to set for that? Or have you mastered it where you just start breathing and get it all within?
I used to listen to like ocean stuff and stuff, but I started to like more like the peace and quiet, just listening to my breathing more, so that's what I usually do.
All right, and then you mentioned also the cold shower. Chase Winovich, who plays on the defensive line with you, a veteran you'll meet.
Dude, I just met him in the locker room. Like,
great guy.
Yeah, he was like, "You got me juiced up, bro. I'm ready to go." I'm like, let's do it then. Real talk.
He's a big guy. He told me about this. He likes to take his shower like normal, and then at the end, he likes to turn the water cold and just like stand there in the coldness. And he said, then all of a sudden you hear voices in your head and you walk out, you're all fired up, ready to go.
Real talk.
Yeah. So there it is, and there's science behind that, folks. You can write that down, no doubt about it. Yeah, write that down. What's it been like with Coach Kiffin so far?
I honestly have a great relationship with Coach Kiffin. Like I'm a big fan of Coach Kiffin. We came in and bonded right away. I feel like he's a great coach, and he's teaching us a lot of stuff that I can see that's going to apply to the game right away. And I just love how we practice, and I love the drills that we're doing. You can definitely tell he knows what he's doing.
Take it easy on those dummies, would you? I mean, I saw you like, pow, it's like flying across the field there. What was it like to get the helmet on, put your uniform on? And I know it's not the game uniform, but to put that on for the first time, was that kind of a cool moment for you?
Yeah, just to take a deep breath and just to finally realize that I'm a part of an NFL team was definitely crazy. And then just to see myself in an NFL helmet and just knowing that I'm finally a part of a team, it was crazy just to think about. And to think about the type of players that I'm about to be playing against and with, so yeah.
All right, I want to talk about something that was real, because when after we talked to you, then you go and you're like, all right, let's watch some tape on this guy.
Right.
Iowa State.
Yeah.
that's one of the biggest hits I've ever seen.
Right.
When you're coming around and chasing him down from the backside, did you have any idea? Because he ducks into it, which makes it even more violent. But did you know at the time, like, this is going to be one of those?
That's why I pushed the ref out the way a little bit if you watch the clip, because I knew something was bad was about to happen. I'm honestly pissed off that he didn't fumble. I wish I could have hit him a little harder, but
I don't think you could have hit him harder.
It is what it is, yeah.
All right, so you hit him right there.
Right.
What were your teammates saying? Like, because that was one where that's everybody on the football field is kind of like,
no, they were losing their mind. Like, I've never seen, like, some of my teammates on the sideline, like, it's funny looking at their reactions. Like, the quietest people on my team were going crazy, squirting water bottles, coaches losing their mind. It was crazy.
All right, to be as juiced up as you are, to have this energy, it requires fuel.
Yeah.
What would be your favorite meal? If you could say, this is what I want right now. It's Perrion Winfrey Day. This is the meal that's being served.
I'd probably say chicken and shrimp Alfredo.
Chicken and shrimp. You're a big Alfredo guy.
Yeah, big pasta guy.
What's your favorite kind of pasta? Like from the noodle standpoint.
Right. I'd probably say.
The fettuccine often goes well with an Alfredo.
Yeah, I'd probably say fettuccine. To be honest with you, no noodle like
you were in there earlier this week. They had the fettuccine Alfredo bar in there. Were you crushing that?
I had some.
Of course you were. Of course you were. All right, last one. This is my first opportunity to ask this question. I always like to ask the new guys this. There's a lot about you our fans already know.
Right.
You put it out there. Right. You got the energy. We know the mentality. We know you're going to bring passion. We know you're going to bring it on the field.
Right.
But what's something about you that you want the Browns fans to know that they probably don't know? Like maybe some just could be off the wall, anything about you. So when they look out there, they see 97, they're going to know all the dog stuff. They're going to know all about that. What's something you want them to think about when they see you playing?
See me playing or just in my
just
daily
in general,
life?
Anything.
If you're around me, like you could be around me for like an hour, you're probably gonna laugh about 15 times. Like I'm constantly cracking jokes and stuff, so you're gonna love it if you're around me for any amount of time.
So are these natural jokes or do you have like a routine? Like you
nah,
have a stand-up routine?
because I don't like when people like try to force funny. I just feel like I'm naturally funny. Like I don't gotta know. It just depends on like what I see or what's happening. Like
just some observational comedy.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a new like Seinfeld or Chappelle. All right, I like it. Well, Perrion, this has been a great pleasure. So happy to finally get an opportunity to sit down with you. I've been wanting to do this since the day you were drafted. We talked on the phone, man. You're about to come through the phone. I'm like, let's go. Let's go. Well, welcome to the Browns.
Thank you.
Once again, and excited to see you go this year.
You already know.
All right, let's do it. Indeed. When we return, we're going to be joined by our third-round pick out of Purdue wide receiver, David Bell. Welcome back to Browns Live, Meet the Rookies, presented by Vivid Seats. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our main event as we are joined now by Browns wide receiver David Bell, third-round pick out of Purdue. Dave, great to see you again.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on the show.
All right, first of all, congratulations are in order on your graduation from college. I know you got to do that over the weekend. Mm-hmm. What did you major in?
I majored in financial counseling and planning.
Okay. All right. So you're ahead of the game. You're going to have seminars, right, where they get you guys ready for that? Are you going to go up there and teach those for Brew?
No, I'm going to let Brew do his job, and he can teach us, and I'm going to just continue to learn.
Why was it important to you to graduate?
It was definitely important. I think it's only been a select few in my family to accomplish college graduation, so I just wanted to be added to that list. And it's not just a good sign for me, but it gives a light in the community that, we can go to college and we can graduate and be successful.
I know when we had talked last time that, one of the reasons you had chosen Purdue was to stay close to your grandma. Yeah. What was that day like, your graduation for your grandma? I saw the pictres, everybody together.
Yeah, I think she was more excited about the graduation than me actually getting drafted. It definitely was good. I haven't seen my grandma on my father's side from Detroit in about 4 or 5 years, and she had the opportunity to come up. So just being around them at a very memorable moment was definitely good, and I'm definitely blessed for the opportunity.
Was it kind of cool, too, to be able to have that time with your family? You get drafted, right? A couple weeks go by, you get to have rookie minicamp. You had the 2 days, the Friday and the Saturday, and then you get to go do your graduation. So it wasn't like, oh, you just got drafted. You could actually talk about, hey, I've actually done this, put the helmet on and all of that. Was that kind of cool to be able to have a little bit of activity in between?
Yeah, it definitely was cool, getting, kind of not shipped off, but, taking off and coming here to Cleveland and then being able to go back and celebrate graduation was definitely a cool experience.
What were those first couple of days of minicamp like? And I know you're a guy who loves to play the game. So to actually get there, well, it wasn't full-on football, but you did get to put the helmet on and run some routes.
It was good to be back out there, being able to go out, mingle with some of our teammates, be able to learn some of them and understand their background and stuff like that, and just having the opportunity to work. That was just a good thing for me, being able to get back on the field and get my feet back under me.
And when we talked on Friday, you said, look, I know that I'm going to be playing more inside here than I did in college. How am I going to learn that? How am I going to adjust to that? That's what you're curious to see. After a couple of days, how would you say you did?
I think I did okay. It's not up to my standard yet. There's definitely room for improvement. Just still got to get into the playbook and make sure that I know everything, whether it's inside, outside, whatever one does. Because I just want to be able to, be used in a lot of phases so they can just throw me in and I'll be able to know what to do.
We talked about Coach O'Shea, and you guys said initially you liked him right out of the gate. Now you got to go watch some tape with him, break down what you did. Kind of how's that relationship evolving, and what did you take away from his kind of thoughts on your rookie minicamp performance?
It's definitely evolving, each and every day in the receiver room with not just myself, but all the other receivers, all the other receivers in my rookie class. We can tell he's a genuine guy, being able to sit down and ask some questions, and he shoots us straight and makes sure that we're on our P's and Q's. And just watching film, he just gives me a few pointers here and there so I can be the best football player that I can be.
All right, I want you to hold your hand up for the camera because I feel like I have pretty big hands. You have huge hands. Did you get measured at the combine?
Yeah, I got measured. I thought they were going to be a little bit bigger, but I think it was like 9 3/4. So.
Okay, I was going to say 10. Felt like 10 there.
Yeah, that's
very strong hands, by the way. I'm sure I'm not the first person who's told you. You have a very powerful handshake, a very powerful grip. Is that something people have told you before?
They have.
Have you broken any hands?
No, I haven't. No. But my grandma taught me that. That's how to.
You gotta be firm. Yeah.
Because when I used to shake her hand, she'd be like, "Why you shaking my hand so soft? Man's supposed to." And ever since then, it's just been.
Yeah, there's no mistaking it. There's no mistake.
Shake. So yeah, she taught me, some good things.
Yeah, no doubt. I would say in my time here with the Browns, I'm putting you second in terms of the most firm handshake, behind only Kevin Zeitler, who was a guard, very good player, very big guy, very strong guy, rarefied error. You're like the second person where I'm like, okay, I'll be maybe a little tentative when I'm going in there, and I'm not afraid to shake hands, but it's a strong grip. Does that help you? I mean, clearly you have very strong hands. Does that help you catch the football?
Yeah, it definitely does. Being able to make contested catches, when people grabbing on you and just have those strong hand muscles definitely is a benefit in today's game.
All right, we got a fan question from Zach S. What current or former NFL receiver did you emulate? Did you want to model your game after, or just somebody that you enjoyed watching because you enjoyed the way they played the game?
It's a handful. Off the top, I'd say Allen Robinson.
I was a big Allen Robinson guy.
Stephon Diggs, Amari Cooper. I've been watching a lot of Keenan Allen, too. I've been watching him for a few years, so I probably have to say those people. I'm
going to throw a name at you. This is just from talking to you, remind me of this guy a little bit, and I think your game reminds me of him just because you're both really good. Anquan Boldin. Has anybody ever given you any Anquan Boldin comparisons before?
Yeah. So I met with a GM of a team, and that's who he compared me to. So
really?
It's a great comparison. I know who he is.
Yeah.
49ers, Ravens, all that. Yeah, he's a
Cardinals?
beast. Yeah, Cardinals.
Very, very good player.
Yeah, he was a good player. So, I mean, if my career does pan out like his.
When did you develop that mentality, the ability to just be like, I'm going to catch the ball no matter what the situation is, and trust yourself to be able to protect yourself and make the catch?
I think the fearlessness came from Little League, because I was always a running back. I didn't play receiver until my freshman year in high school. So, of course, you got to run between the tackles and all that. So it was just like hit the hole and then take the hit. And getting hit from a defensive lineman is way different from getting hit from a safety or a corner. So it's less of an impact. But I don't really think about the fear when you're on the field, because I think when you think of it, then that's tendency of getting hurt,
Sure.
not playing as fast as you can. So you really just got to go out there fearless and just make sure you know your assignment and just give 100%.
Yeah, I mean, you had a lot of great catches in college that were very much in contested situations. You also had a lot where you got pretty darn wide open, and that's one of the things the coaches like about you. And speaking of, I mean, it's going viral, right? Kevin Stefanski, we got to get this guy, how much he believes in you. I'm sure that makes you feel good. I know it makes you probably want to prove him right.
Definitely. With that much trust he has in me, I just want to come in every day, work, make sure I put my best foot forward and just do my job at a consistently high level. I'm still trying to learn the playbook and not only learn the playbook, but learn my way around the building, learn people's names and put the names with faces. But, I think once I get everything down pat, I think I can, prove them right, like you said, yeah.
All right, this is a question from Sherry Ellen. She said, if you had the opportunity to sit down and talk with any NFL player, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
I would have to, even though he was in our division, I have to say Ed Reed. Growing up, we was a big Ed Reed and Troy Polamalu fans.
Okay.
I have to say Ed Reed, just the way that he always had that dog mindset, just on defense, the ball is his, and on special teams, being able to go out there, play aggressive and stuff like that. Just to see how, he did his daily routine and what it made him be so successful.
All right, we're going to wrap it up with just kind of more of a fun question here, and this one from Baco Nation. What is your favorite TV show?
My favorite TV show would have to be Avatar: The Last Airbender. I started watching this when I was about 3rd grade, and I've seen each and every season maybe 30 to 40 times.
Wow.
So, yeah,
you can quote it. You
I
know
really
verbatim,
can.
word for word.
And when I'm studying the playbook, I just have it on, just listening to the audio because I don't need to really see what it is, but I hear the audio, so I already know what's happening. So it's kind of just like a relaxing thing.
What do you love about it?
Really, the character of Aang, basically how he grew into the person he was supposed to be. Like, he didn't know what he was doing at first, but he had a good circle around him to help him reach his full potential, and that's kind of how I'm viewing myself right now.
Okay,
trying to find the good people around me to help me reach my full potential.
I think you've come to the right place. We're certainly excited to have you here and hope to see you reach that full potential. I love you putting the work, and great talking to you. And listen, I thought you wanted to be here the whole time. See, he's smiling just like that. All right, folks, hope you had a great time here. This was Browns Live, Meet the Rookies. It was presented by Vivid Seats. And just so you know, the NFL schedule is out now. You can be there live for every touchdown and tackle. Check out vividseats.com to find tickets, browse exclusive fan experience packages, and earn unbeatable rewards. From all of us to all of you, thanks again for watching another episode of Browns Live. This one, Browns Live, Meet the Rookies, presented by Vivid Seats. And don't forget to check our social media to see who our lucky #BrownsLive winner was. You're getting an autographed football. Good night, everybody.